Now to a really bizarre story. The woman who earned the nickname Black Widow is now facing fresh charges. She will be in court next week, charged with attempted murder for allegedly trying to poison her husband. This from a woman who had 2 previous marriages end in death and who actually did time for killing one of those husbands. ABC's John Schriffen is here with more on this.
Good morning. Bizarre doesn't even begin to describe this story. Well, according to reports out of Canada, neighbors say her latest husband knew about her questionable past and decided to marry her anyway. But in court on Friday, prosecutors decided to use her criminal history against her, trying to convince the judge not to grant bail and keep her behind bars. Hard to believe this 77-year-old woman, shielding her face from cameras, is a convicted killer who Canadian authorities say tried to strike again. Melissa Weeks, also known as the Internet Black Widow, honeymooned with her latest husband in Nova Scotia when he became ill. At the hospital, doctors found a sedative drug in his body and became suspicious.
I think it had more to do with the way Mrs. Weeks was dealing with the medical emergency of her husband or not really dealing with the medical emergency of her husband more than anything.
After large amounts of prescription drugs were reportedly found in her home and vehicle, Weeks was arrested and charged with attempted murder for allegedly trying to poison her husband. Despite Weeks' request to be released, prosecutors say it's likely she will remain in custody.
In this case, that's very significant given her fraud history and the various identities that she's had.
This is not the first time people have heard of the Black Widow.
We heard about her when she was in Florida, and we read up some on that at that time, but it was just unbelievable.
But ex-boyfriend Alex Strategis wasn't surprised when he heard Weeks was in court because he claimed she tried to poison him back when the two met in 2005.
I would go to sleep, and if I had to get up for something, to go to the bathroom or something, that's when I would get up and then I'd fall over.
Weeks was not convicted for allegedly poisoning Strategis, but was arrested for wiping out about $20,000 from his bank account. Back in 1991, she was convicted of killing her then-husband, Gordon Stewart, after drugging and running him over with her car not once, but twice. She was sentenced to 6 years in prison, but only served 2. Now, Weeks could face up to 14 years in prison for administering a noxious substance and for attempted murder, life in prison. Now, her bail hearing has been rescheduled for Tuesday, but something interesting, the judicial system in Canada is a little different from here in the States. She actually has a choice of either choosing a judge or a jury to hear her case now. Interesting which one she'll decide could be on Tuesday.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. John, thank you.